Hello and welcome back. Right, okay, so now we shall strip the paintwork off the aircraft using good old caustic soda. I'm sure people at the museum collections of World War II warbirds would love to be able to do this quickly, but let's get on with it. Now my plan here was to actually strip the fuselage and wings, but leave the wheels out of the muck, and do those in Dettol afterwards, so to leave the plastic wheels on. But as it turns out, the paint came off anyway, so it kind of worked out in the end. Now the paint used on this model seems to behave differently to the paint used on other Dinkies that I've stripped, in that it turned black and then it fell off, as opposed to just dissolving away. So obviously Dinky must have been using some other formulation when they were doing these, because this is quite late on in production, I think. Okay, so as you can see, the plane's come out of the caustic soda all nice and clean, just the odd little bit of gunge stuck to it, which we can just remove with the old wire wheel, and we'll be ready for painting. As you can see, it's actually come out really nicely. I mean, this is still wet at this point, and you can see it's not affected the wheels at all. And I noticed as well, there's this defect in the moulding. This sort of blister. Now I think that's been there since, well, when this was cast. But it wasn't too noticeable under the paint. Once the paint had been stripped off, you can't really, obviously you can really see it. Apart from that, it's all in good shape. Okay, so as you can see, the wire wheels made it come up quite nice and shiny. And obviously, giving it a rub over gives the paint something to key to as well. So I think this is going to look quite good. So once we finish here, we're going to go put a primer on. Okay, so I'm going to leave the wheels on for painting, so I've just masked those off with tape. And I'm just going to use this Tamiya fine surface primer, white or grey. It really just depends on what sort of colours you're intending to put over it. In this case I've got white here. So there you go, you can see the tape I put around the wheels. And I've not tried to separate the two wing halves, because that's a rivet, those two rivets between the wing halves is extremely shallow, and the only way to get it back together again would be, you'd have to glue it, I think. I don't really want to do that, so I've left it in one piece. Okay, so you can see I'm going to use a glove for a change, so spraying my hand. And then we're going to start painting this. So obviously it's just giving this a coat of white paint. It doesn't have to be that thick, it's just to provide a key basically. Just a quick dusting really. There's quite a lot of debate about what colour to paint Japanese aircraft, believe it or not, because basically the white colour that you see in some films and stuff isn't actually the colour they were painted at all. And I think there's a name for it which has gone out of my head now I'm recording this, but it's basically a kind of a very pale greeny yellow. It's very, very pale colour, which is what they were really painted. But we're going to paint a slightly later war colour scheme on this one, and we're going to go for this basically dark green over, well, effectively it looks like Sky Type S. And yes, even though I thought I was turning over a new leaf and not spraying my hand, I forgot to put the glove on again. Ho hum. But anyway, so basically we're just painting the lighter colour first everywhere, and we're going to do this on the wings next. Now I think I read somewhere that the Japanese aircraft were actually given such a light coating of paint that it scratched off very easily, or rubbed off. So that's why you see a lot of photos of aircraft in service, and they're actually just look like they're completely scratched silly, and it's just basically because they just use very little paint. But that's what I've read, and by all means if you know better, comment away guys. So I've just masked the plane to preserve the underside. I'm now going to spray the upper surface colour, which is basically a dark green. And I didn't realise it at the time, but the tripod was touching the compressor, so when it's going Makes the picture go blurry. Oh, sorry about that. There you go, bit of action for you. I was very tempted to paint this up as a trainer aircraft because I believe the Japanese used bright orange for the trainer aircraft, which would have been quite nice and easy to do because I've got a can of that knocking around somewhere, but I thought I've got to try and put the effort in. I probably won't win on this one anyway. I'll have the Dinky purists saying it's not the right colour, and I'll have World War II purists saying it's not quite the right shade either. Oh well. Now we've got quite stormy weather going on at the moment because of Storm Kira, so as I'm recording this, and as I live quite high up, we sometimes lose the power when it gets a bit windy, so I'm just hoping to get this video finished editing and uploaded before a power cut cuts in. So there you go, so we got all the masking tape off, and we've got our two-tone paint job. Okay, so I've got a third-party canopy off eBay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint the lines of the frame of the canopy with it hand painted. I'm not going to worry too much about going over the edges because what we can do is we can scratch the paint off, leaving just the lines in the middle. So we'll just put a couple of coats on, and that's what we'll do. And it'll look a little bit better than the clear canopy look that Dinky went with, and hopefully it won't be too bad. Okay, so I've put the motor back in the plane. Well, it's just sitting in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in a proper earth wire between the battery negative terminal and the casing of the motor, because obviously it's relying on that pin to squeeze the metal of the to the earth of the motor and then round to the battery. So what we'll do is we are going to cut a wire and solder it in, and as you can see I've just done that there. So it's just very simple. Try and just focus on it for you guys. There you go. So I've just soldered to the spring, and the other end's just soldered to the motor. Simple as that. That'll work day in, day out now. So our next step will be to reassemble the plane, give the motor a quick test, and then we'll move on to finishing. Okay, so I've hand painted the engine cowling black on the inside and all the way around, and we're going to use these third-party stickers which represent basically how Dinky originally made the model, using stickers. So get over it, it's not transfers, it's stickers, because Dinky was cutting corners at this stage in the production. I know I should be using tweezers putting these on, but I don't know, I think it's just a tactile thing. I just find it easier and more controllable if I use my fingers. So anyway, comment away. Now I've run out of clear spray varnish, but what my plan is that once these are on, I'll spray the plane with a clear varnish, and that'll seal the stickers in place, because frankly these third-party stickers, they're not great. The glue in them's not very good, and they do start to unpeel, so my plan is to varnish this. However, unfortunately I haven't got the varnish at the moment, I've got to order it, and so I'm just going to basically show you the build without the varnishing stage, because otherwise you'll be waiting another couple of weeks to see what happens. So let's all use our imagination, guys. Now I read somewhere that the film Tora 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 kind of influenced the colour that people thought Japanese planes were painted, because I think the colour scheme they used wasn't correct. I think they just used white, or basically like a ghost grey effectively. So that's kind of interesting that a bit of popular culture can have an effect on how people thought things were painted for their camouflage schemes. Okay, so we're going to put the propeller on, and you may notice I've painted it black. Now, it may come as a surprise to some of you guys, but Dinky were not painting the propeller a realistic colour. I don't think Japanese planes ever use bright red that I'm aware of, and it seemed to be like shiny metal, the same colour as the fuselage, or it could be black. So I just went with black. Okay, so I'm just putting the replacement antenna into the canopy, which you may have noticed I've also painted green, because I don't think red was a colour either that the Japanese Navy ever thought was a good idea. And just snapping the canopy on, and there you go. So it's not looking too bad, is it? That's looking almost presentable. Hey, oops. Yes, I forgot I hadn't put the propeller on properly. I'll just push that back on again. Fine tuning. Wouldn't want that falling off at 30,000 feet. Okay, and away we go. Right, so shall we head to the turntable and see what this looks like? And you can once again take to the skies and terrorise somewhere. Okay, so we've started off with our wreck of an aeroplane, which literally was missing everything apart from the wings and the body. No motor, no propeller, no canopy, no antenna, no innards, no switch. So basically what we've done is we've gotten the motor from a donor model, and then what we've done is we basically, down to luck, with an AA battery, AAA battery being longer than the original N battery, its total length is the same as the old N battery and switch. So basically we're able to run the model without a switch, and to save power you just stall the propeller. So then what we've done as well is we've got some third-party stickers which are going to be stuck down a bit more and then sprayed, so they'll all stay still. We've painted the canopy, the replacement canopy, so it looks a bit more realistic. I don't think it looks too bad actually. So these are the stickers that Dinky originally used, or third-party representations of them. So I don't think that looks too bad, does it? Okay. So if you like what you've seen and want to see more, please click subscribe. Click the little notification bell thing, because otherwise YouTube won't tell you there's a new video. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.